Hi darlings. I had an idea that I want to share with you today because I was creating a journal of mine. It doesn't matter at the moment, but that I wanted to have a metallic, really rusty metallic button, but I hadn't got one. So I decided to make one out of a plastic button, and then I realized this is actually a technique that's really useful for, trying to block the sun, really useful for a lot of projects and a lot of different kind of items, plastic or anything that you prefer to look vintage. So I decided on a whim to do a tutorial video for you. So you don't need much. You would need Finnabair imposter paints, pitch black and dark chocolate, and heavy gesso, and my favorite texture paste, white sand. This is one that is rather sold out at the moment, but if you have it, use it. Or then you could, for example, use modeling paste with texture powder or something to create a bit of texture feeling in it, a bit of crumbling, like a sand effect. So what I am going to do now is to just really quickly before the sun comes into the screen, prime my buttons with gesso. You don't need to be really even, but of course there's one thing you want to make sure, and that's it, that you don't hide the holes. These are plastic buttons. These really are actually vintage buttons, but they are plastic, and this is a really quick process, so quick that it's no point making one. So I decided to make two, but just a second. Here. And here. I have these. Let's see if I can get the light plugged out a bit. I have these. Well, you can see them. Oh, sorry, the light is so bad. These are. This is from a Prima mold, and this is from a Finnabair mold. Just tiny pieces, and I thought, why not to make these too, because I haven't tested it except for some label frames I did earlier, but I haven't tested how this idea works on molds, so we will see soon. And I put my gesso away and try these. Okay, now I take this texture paste, white sand, and I'll use my finger. I put a layer, really thin layer, because I need a needle. I really desperate because I'm running low on my one precious jar, and there is no place I have found selling it anymore. So just a hint, just a tiny layer, making sure that with the buttons I don't actually hide the holes, so I can use them later in my journaling. Did I make these? Yes, I did. As you can see, nothing pre-thought in this journal video. Sorry. Okay. And that was the texture paste. And now I need just to clean my fingers a bit. And I really hope this works for the molds, because that way the coins would really look antique. And you know, when former archaeologist says antique, it doesn't mean anything shiny. So I really hope I can manage the look of decay. Another soft layer of gesso, just a hint. I don't know if this is necessary, but my basic instinct says that it couldn't be bad for making an even base for the paint coming next, so that when the texture paste has a thin layer of gesso on top, I think it might work even better. Okay, and again I put this jar away. And now I want to be sure that these really are dry and the texture paste and gesso are holding fast before I add any paint. I think that should do. Yes, of course they are a bit sticky now because of the texture paste, so I leave them to be a moment. Do I have? No, I don't have anywhere easily near the label frames I made, but you might find video on my YouTube, because I made those. Now they are cool enough. I made those cubic drawer boxes that I added those label frames at last touch, as the final touch, so you might find them here. So what I have here is a really moist mix of and almost dry mix of black and brown. I just want to make sure that it does have both colors in there. Okay, let's start with this one. And I just add a layer like this. You can see I zoom a bit. You see, here's the layer. I have a baby wipe in here, and I wipe most of the paint off, and then I make sure that there's some paint on the sides too. And actually, that's rather nice. That's it. You could never guess now that from the other side it's just a basic, sorry, zooming is a bit hard, but really rusty looking vintage button we have got here. And just to show you how easy the process was, I just added a layer of black and brown paint, made sure that there is some everywhere, and played with my fingers a bit, and here it is. I even intend to save the colors that are a bit uneven. I can even add a bit in here so that it really has some character in there. Okay, and the last one, last button. And of course, when you use liquid acrylics on top of these, it would make them a bit more shiny. I can show you actually in a moment. I just want to see how this one works. It works rather well. So just a tiny bit of that. Paint mix, and it's all it needs. Sorry, I'm cleaning my fingers, and then now I show you that with this one it doesn't work so well, because now the whole design is actually absolutely non-existent. So maybe this isn't the cleverest idea of using with this one, but it doesn't matter. I tested, and now I'm adding just a hint of ink black and burnt sienna. Sorry, forgot I have this two tuned ink black and burnt sienna. And it's the last of my bottles, but I am intending to use them to the last drop, and maybe I have already. It seems like, oh, there's one, two, yes. Oh, I think I can safely say that it was empty. The black one. Okay, so this is a lost cause anyway. So I show you with this one with bit careless manner. So when you add a hint of liquid acrylics on top, it really has the metallic shine. Not shine actually, but you know, some kind of metallic resemblance, because you don't want it to actually shine. But now it looks old. And I repeat the same with this one, adding just like I did with the impastors, black and brown. Oh, that was my precious example one. I needed to be another color entirely, so I won't be touching that. Okay, and let's test with this one. Yes, that was it really. Huh. I zoom a bit out like this, so when you see my fingers you don't get headache because they are too close. So only a few moments and you can get really funny and actually rather authentic vintage rusty metallic look image for your plastic buttons or other embellishments that you are desperately needing for your vintage style project. And that was it. You're welcome. Although I'm sure you have already done this a long ago, and there wasn't anything new. But anyway, thank you for watching, and have some inspiring vintage rusty moments. And I hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.